Julian Assange could be back in Australia within days after the Wikileaks founder was freed from a UK prison. He's set to face a judge in a remote American court thanks to a shock plea deal with the US government.
Freedom has been a long time coming. Wikileaks video shows founder Julian Assange leaving London. This likely the journey many thought he'd never make home.
This period of our lives, I'm confident now, has come to an end.
Court papers show the 52-year-old has entered a plea deal with the US government. Tonight, his private jet has landed in Bangkok after a 12-hour flight from the UK. He's heading to the Pacific island of Saipan in the Marianas, an American court to sentence him at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
As a plea deal on a felony, he has to be heard on the soil of the United States.
Julian Assange is expected to plead guilty to a single charge of violating America's Espionage Act. The court will sentence him to 62 months, but credit him with 62 months already served in London's Belmarsh prison and free him.
There's nothing to be gained by his continued incarceration, and we want him brought home to Australia.
It's been 14 years since Wikileaks published vast numbers of US military secrets. The same year, Sweden issued a European arrest warrant accusing him of sexual assault.
Will you return to Australia eventually?
Oh, I'd like to return to Australia immediately.
When he lost a fight against extradition to Sweden, Assange fled to Ecuador's London embassy, political asylum for 7 years.
7 years without charge. Why my children grew up without me.
Eventually, Ecuador ditched the protection and British authorities arrested him, from exile to solitary confinement in one of Britain's highest security prisons, and 5 years fighting extradition to face US charges that carried a maximum 170 years in prison.
If you're seeing this, it means he is out.
The Wikileaks chief editor and Julian Assange's wife of 2 years recorded this in secrecy 5 days ago and released it today.
I think that by this time next week, Julian will be free.
Many believe Julian Assange was jailed for doing journalism. For the first time, the US government sought to prosecute someone for publishing government secrets.
There is no power on earth that can hold back truth when its time has come.
Others saw the Wikileaks releases as reckless and potentially deadly for intelligence sources. But in April, the President was pressed on the Assange case.
It's clear that Julian and Wikileaks has had a profound impact on the way we get information. It's a hugely momentous day.
More than a decade ago, he predicted a long fight.
This is not the beginning of the end, it is the end of the very beginning.
But tonight, the Julian Assange odyssey is tantalisingly close to an end. 5 years ago, the US Department of Justice had 18 charges lined up against Julian Assange, and they were calling his case one of the largest compromises of classified information in US history. Now, a plea deal and a ticket home. After a lot of Australian lobbying, the US has softened on Julian Assange. Mitch?
Tim Lester in the United States, thank you. And a few minutes ago, Chief Reporter Chris Reason spoke with Julian Assange's brother, Gabriel Shipton, who is in France.
Gabriel, first of all, your family's reaction to this news, your reaction to the news.
Yeah, look, we're incredibly overjoyed, incredibly relieved. This has been a long slog for Julian especially, but also for us in this fight to get him out of the prison. I've been speaking to him over the last few days, and he's been very excited, a little bit anxious. Once he's back on home soil, I think that's when we can really sit down, have a beer and, have a celebration together.
As you say, it's been the most incredible hard slog, 12 years, either in that Ecuadorian embassy or at Belmarsh prison. What will be his priorities, Gabriel, when he gets here to Australia?
Yeah, look, he's got 2 small children, my nephews, Max and Gabriel. They're in Australia now with Julian's wife, Stella. So they'll be able to meet him when he gets off the plane. So spending time together, resting, recuperating. He will need some time to recover from this ordeal. Listen to the birds, listen to the Australian birds sing, maybe go for a swim in the ocean. We've got all our fingers and toes crossed, and I hope the Australian public does as well, that he can make it back here safe and sound.
We greatly appreciate your time, Gabriel. Thank you for joining us on 7 News.